Welcome, BringATrailer community. So we have here the 1979 240D, 90,000 original miles. The car came from Belleville, Washington. I bought it out of Yakima, Washington about a year ago. The gentleman bought it from the original family. You can see through the documentation in the photographs. He had it, I think, since 2012 or 13. Prior to that, one family owner. The husband and wife that bought the car new, it ended up in storage for about 22 years. Very good storage, as you can see. And I have to call attention to one of my BringATrailer community friends for making the profound observation that my last video, what moved the most was my mouth and not the car. So I'm trying to do better. So here we go, the classic. Oh, I missed it. I gotta try again. There we go. The classic 123 chassis slam door. How awesome is that? I've got the hood all the way up in the total vertical position. Most of you know that already. Anybody that would probably buy this car knows about that really unique feature that I think was just incredible. And it really played in a lot when Deborah and I adjusted the valves last night. I also adjusted the steering box a little tighter. And then does anybody know what's going to happen when I open the trunk? It's a classic sound. Springs. Could be like an old horror show, right? But that's not what this car is. It's not a horror show. It's actually the exact opposite. It is a almost all original paint. Only the hood's been repainted. Everything else is metered and checked by both Deborah and I to be original paint. You know, a few nicks and scratches and things I called out. You'll see them in the photographs. We want everyone to understand what it is that they might be getting. It's no reserve, so it's definitely going to convey to someone else. Just don't know who yet. Gosh, there's only a few things missing. The window sticker I don't have. They didn't keep that, but gosh, if you look at the record, you'll see there's a ton of other information. They never received their metal data plate. There's correspondence from the original owner calling into effect letters to Mercedes-Benz. Hey, you know, shows right here in the book we're supposed to get a data plate. Where is it? They never got it. So that's kind of a bummer. They got a little bit cheated in that regard. But the car's never been hit. It's never been in an accident. It's absolutely, positively corrosion and rust free. I mean, everywhere. No matter where you look, you will see. It's pretty incredible. I'll admit, when I first started looking at the car, I didn't recognize how original it truly is. It's pretty extraordinary. I personally love the color. It's deep green. There's probably another name for it, but deep green and bamboo tex. It does have the 4-speed automatic, which is an option. It does have the power windows and air conditioning, also options. It does have cruise control, and the cruise control does work. So we did a drive earlier, and we'll put those videos together with this, and we'll just go through the car little by little here and kind of show you with some commentary what I like about it, what I think is really cool. So looking forward to interacting with everybody. Let's have fun. Okay, car really is the engine bay. Extraordinary in every respect. There's a couple little flaws. 90,000 miles, you're going to have some things, of course. Have some rust on the side of the hood here, inside of the hood from the battery venting throughout its life sometime. A little bit of rust on top of the lid for the air cleaner. You know, you could send the lid off and have it re-powder coated and it would look extraordinary. I just like the fact that it's original. There's only one panel on the whole car that I refinished or painted, if you will, and that's this plastic panel right here. It had degraded and it just didn't look good, so I took it off. It's only this big. It's made out of plastic. I painted it black. Everything else that you see, there's no touch-up on this car anywhere. Underneath, everything you see underneath. I didn't go around there with a yellow brush and a blue and green brush and mark parts and pieces restoring the car. This car is original, and it was, I got to tell you, as I cleaned the underside and we prepared it, it was like being an archaeologist. I discovered things that you couldn't see. You'll see in the pictures, the before and after pictures. It was pretty extraordinary. But this engine compartment, thanks Dean Lombach, helped me get that valve cover looking a little bit proper, and got some tips from him, and a little bit of rust coming down from the master cylinder booster. That's pretty typical. The brake fluid will run down there and eat the paint away. But gosh, it's really awesome in that, you know, all the original fender bolts, they're not turned. The original core support, the welds and the seams are flawless with the decals where they're supposed to be. We replaced, of course, the AC system, so it's got the 134 AC compressor and a new fan up front here. Gosh, it's just all the original proper stickers. Don't hate me, preservationists, but I had a bad moment. These beautiful 2 white stickers that were in nice shape, I lost them when I was cleaning the car, so that's my fault. I apologize. I do want to point out one other thing about this car that's pretty cool. We didn't put any dressing on anything, even the tires. The only thing that we put dressing on is the rubber on the front and back of the bumpers, and these bumper covers. Everything else under the car is untreated with dressing. There's no glossy, spray paint or gloss paint or Armor All type coatings on anything. It's all dry to the touch. The rubber, the plastic, the metal. That's all the way it came from the factory. Of course, we removed all of the cosmoline so you can see that stuff. I'm just really super excited about how this car turned out. I will tell you, as a matter of discipline, I sent it in no reserve because I knew it was going to be hard for me to part with this. I've had it a year. It's been a little bit of a project of mine, but I was just amazed by the condition of the car. So what do you think of the interior color? I love it. I mean, bamboo. Just a stunning classic Mercedes 123 especially color. I love it to death. Very nice that these nets aren't droopy and sagging. I wouldn't necessarily put much in them. They're pretty old, I mean 40 years old, but the headrests are beautiful. The Tex, of course most of you know what Mercedes-Benz Tex is all about. Held up beautifully. The headliner is awesome. The first aid kit is in full force back here in the shelf because the car was stored for 22 years. There's no sun damage. That's awesome. I mean, that's just a real bonus. The carpets are spectacular. There's a set of black custom-made mats for it, and they're kind of vintage too. Even the same style of mat goes in the trunk. But it's a great view back. All the chrome and the power windows, and of course that. Oh man, it really does reverberate inside the car. It's crazy how these doors work. I read in one of the manuals that latch, that like billet looking latch, I think that will support the entire weight of the car. That's how crazy they overbuilt those things. They just really are a testimony, and everybody knows that this is a 2 million mile, if well cared for, at least 200,000 to 400,000 mile car if you treat it right. It's really as much as you want to make of it. And I will say that the horsehair has not broke down even on these seats. Like a lot of times these older cars, they're great when you look at them. I've had cars when you actually sit down in the seat, you can hear the hair crumbling and degrading, and then they're flat and they're not, they don't have the proper form and contour. But these are great. No cigarette ashes in any of the ashtrays. No smoke smell whatsoever. No cracks on the dash. Steering wheel is awesome. I can't complain about anything on the inside of the car except for that driver's front seat is missing the handle that you would pull up, and that's what slides the rails high and low. So if you want to raise the seat up, so that's something that should be fixed. I'm going to research and see if I can find one of those used. But love this interior color, bamboo. Gotta love it. We spent almost a full day with, in my opinion, the best paintless dent removal guy in the business in Orlando and Central Florida, at least, Rick Rader with Dent Wizard. And I spent a fair amount of money getting the little nicks and dents out of this car, but it's so straight. I mean, look at this reflection. You can see the other cars. I mean, it's just dead straight. There are no waves, dings, dents. It's awesome. I can't say enough about both sides of how this car looks. Okay, I saved the best for last, folks. Can you recall seeing a car of this nature prepared and cleaned to this level before? You know, we actually, in the photographs section, I know probably get a lot of complaints about the 300 plus pictures, but it's such a special car. And if you're really seriously interested in buying it, you're probably going to look at all the pictures. If you're just casually looking, just don't look at them all. It's okay. The video's not the shortest one either, but there's just a lot to talk about, and the car is just so exceptional that we wanted to make sure and present it for what it really is. And the underside of this car shows that better than anything. So enjoy. Look forward to interacting with you. And you know, when it comes down to trying to find a candidate like this, it's not an easy find, but we're sure grateful to have found it and to be able to present it to you. And we're thankful for the BringATrailer platform and the community to interact. And you know, there's a fair amount of entertainment for all parties, including the seller, when you have a special piece like this. And kind of the dollars and cents of it all do tend to drift away. I've had more than my share of friends say, "My gosh, how much time have you spent on this car?" You know, there's a level of satisfaction and enjoyment to the entire process. So we look forward to spending time with you all, and somebody's going to get a really, really exceptional piece here, and we look forward to meeting them and talking with the rest of you. Good luck, and feel free to reach out. Thank you.